Well, we're back again. Our batsmen made sure that we didn't wait too long to have this conversation. Didn't even take us till after tea. Yes, my viewers and subscribers, another defeat, another defeat. Australia easily walking away with the second test, winning the game by 133 runs and a day to spare. Once again, our batting really collapsed. Well, I can't even say collapse because we didn't get a start. Our batting once again melted when they came up against the bowling of the Australians. Gonna be talking about the game. Gonna go through the scorecard. So just give a listening ear. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. All right, my people. So West Indies batters, they had, you can call it almost 2 days. Well, not even two, you can call it a day and three quarter to chase 277. And the batsmen basically folded in no time, getting bowled out for 143. I must say that the Australians, obviously, they are better than us. But, sometimes it's just how we go about things. And that's how we go about playing the game that really irritates a lot of the fans. So let me just walk you through the scorecard and then we can talk further. So just a quick reminder, Australia, they scored 286 in the first innings. West Indies got 253, right? Australia went back in and got 243 and we were just bowled out for 143. One thing you will notice is that at no point, Australia, they weren't able to get 300. Our bowlers made sure that neither in the first nor second innings, Australia didn't cross 300 runs. You cannot ask anything more of the bowlers, my people. This is test cricket, This is test cricket. And if your bowlers can get you the number one team, can bowl at the number one team for 286 and 243, you can't ask them for anything more. You cannot ask them for anything more. Even if they take 4 or 5 wickets quick, and Australia find a way to put together some runs and build up a partnership, you still can't fault the bowlers. Because playing a test match, if you can get a team for, especially a team like Australia, for 286 and 243, as far as I'm concerned, the bowlers, they have done their job. I know it's a team sport. I'm not trying to separate the bowlers from the batting. But watching the game, you would think that it's two different teams, and you would think that the bowling aspect is a number one rank bowling unit, and the batting, well, you can see why we are ranked where we are at when it comes on to the batting. Let me just go through. So Australia in the first innings, as a matter of fact, Alex Carey was named the player of the game. Australia in that 286. Just to remind you quickly, Webster, he got 60. Alex Carey got 63. Bowling for us, it was Alzarri Joseph who got 4 for 61. That led the way. Jaden Seals got 2 for 45. We also saw Shamar Joseph, Anderson Phillip, and Justin Graves getting a wicket apiece. West Indies in their first innings, that 253 that we spoke about, it was on the back of some good batting from Brandon King. He scored 75. Unfortunately for him, he got a peach of a ball in the second innings. Couldn't really do much about that. John Campbell, he scored 40 in the first innings also. Won't even talk about what happened after getting to 40. Right, so those were the two top scorers. Shamar Joseph chipped in with 29. Alzarri Joseph chipped in with 27. So one thing you will realize is the bowlers, they are doing the work and then they have to return. They not even can get any time in the dressing room to rest. By the time they're done bowl, they have to be out there batting. They don't get any time to rest. Mitchell Stark, he picked up 1. Josh Hazelwood 2 for 43. Pat Cummins 2 for 46, and Nathan Lyon 3 for 75. Travis Head and Webster, they picked up 1 each, right? So that is basically how our batting went in the first innings. Our bowlers came back and they did even better than the first innings. First innings 286, we were okay with that, but they did one better. They made sure Australia didn't even get 250. Right, 243. But with the lead from the first innings, it gave them a target of gave us a target of 277 to get. right? And just to remind you, in that second innings for Australia, Cameron Green finally coming sort of good for them at that number 3 spot, getting 52. Steve Smith back in the team, getting 71. Alex Carey getting 30. Bowling for the West Indies, Shamar Joseph going pretty close to a 5-for. He got 4 for 66. Justin Graves 2 for 22. We also saw Alzarri Joseph with 2 for 52, and Jaden Sears with 2 for 29. So the bowling unit, my people, doing extremely well. Anderson Phillip and Chase, they bowled, but they weren't amongst the wickets. But, can't really say anything about that because the frontline seamers did the work, right? West Indies, no, we were given that 277 to Chase. We had all the time, my people, to do it. From before lunch to the rest of today into tomorrow, right? We know that it would either be us trying to get it today, or by early tomorrow, but we know we weren't going to bat too long, right? So 143. Craig Brathwaite, he was removed for 7, right? According to what they are saying, Craig Brathwaite gave up the captaincy to focus on his batting. We as fans that watching the game, we probably think otherwise, but that is what they say. Well, 7. He sent for his sunglasses when they came in. I thought that, yeah, man, go and settle down and bat. Didn't stay out there much longer. John Campbell, he was trapped in front, no score. Casey Carty, he got a very good delivery to remove him for 10. I don't know if there's much he could have done about that. The same for Brandon King, 14 for 19. Pat Cummins gave him one that was extremely difficult to deal with. Ruston Chase, he got 34. Ruston Chase looked good. He was batting with purpose until he was removed. Shea Hope, 17, before he decided to hit one in the air. Shamar Joseph, 24. Alzarri, 13. Justin Graves, 2. Anderson Phillip, 11 not out. And Jaden Seals, 8. So, very, very low batting card there, my people. Cash pot number, right? If you are in Jamaica or in the Caribbean, when you say cash pot number, says anything. In one of them low number, they under what, 36 or 35 or whatever it is. But low, my people. The high score there, 34 from Ruston Chase. Imagine having almost 2 days to chase 77. And, but as I always say, my people, there's a reason they are ranked number 1 and we are ranked where we are ranked. They are obviously better than us. But, at the international level, they still expect some fight. Mitchell Stark, he picked up 3 for 24. Josh Hazelwood, 2 for 33. Pat Cummins and Webster, they got 1 each. And Nathan Lyon got 3 for 42. So, West Indies losing there, my people, without really putting up much of a fight. They say class is permanent, and when I say form is temporary and class is permanent, right? So even though the Australians, couple of them might drop form, class still comes through to give them the win. You understand? We definitely have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. The bowlers, they are on their way to achieving individual goals, but we're not going to win games that easily with this batting. Obviously, if we go up against teams that are not as strong as Australia, you would expect our batting to probably do a little better. But it is what we have. This is what we are facing. This is the game that we're in, and we expected the batsmen to really at least give the fans something, the people in Grenada, give them something to watch for a little longer. You understand? I said it this morning, even yesterday, that anything over 250, I don't fancy us chasing it, right? I don't fancy us chasing anything at all with Australia. I said, as a matter of fact, could have even be 180, 190. I don't fancy us chasing it. But, yeah, that is how the second test went, my people. West Indies, once again, with a good performance from the bowlers and, then the batting crumbling as per usual. Are we going to see changes for the third game? Or is this a unit that Darren Sammy want to stick with and give them enough time to prove themselves? Are we going to wipe away the records that are, there were records before Sammy took over? Is this a clean slate for everyone? Or are we looking at, you know, all of the before leading up to Sammy to what's happening now in terms of form of some of the players. Because Craig Brathwaite surely cannot be too far from losing his spot in the team. You understand? And you could almost say the same thing for the batsmen, but for the rest of the batters, it's just that they were just brought in. So you know you would think that Sammy going to give them a little time to go. But guys that have been there for a period of time, man, boy, I mean I tell you, can't make the age, boy. Big up on yourself, my people.